We now have fostered an economy where employers actually prefer hiring foreigners to locals. We want to stop that. We want to use our vast resources to nurture our local talent and make sure that they get the best paying jobs. We are not against foreigners, but Singaporeans will always come first. The PAP government has entered into very harmful treaties, such as SECA, which PAR is totally opposed and wants abolished.
So we need to find a fair balance between making sure that our local workers are gainfully employed and making sure that we have the foreign talent that we need. So PSP has proposals for that. They include a strengthening of the current fair consideration framework itself, imposing a modest EP levy like that for S-passes and work permits, and also imposing a quota on EP holders, which are also in existence for S-pass and work permit holders.
In an open society, we must also make sure that the privilege of citizenship is better accentuated, because sometimes people don't feel that what is claimed to be in the national interest is not in the people's interest. 6K for 6 months for those that are retrenched is the flimsiest of safety nets for Singaporean workers. So I think job legislation as proposed by the PAP, it aims at fair chance for Singaporeans, but RDU's Citizens First hiring policy is a little bit different. It is aimed at fair rights of all workers that are in Singapore.
I think it's important to remember that immigration has to remain the cornerstone of Singapore society. One of the things that we've put forward is the idea of ensuring a more deliberate skills transfer between foreign talent and our local workforce. And I think this is important, right? Because sometimes there are industries that we want to chase, that we may not have the talent pool just yet to be able to properly capture. And it's well and good for us to allow then foreign talent to come in the first generation of employees that we have to be able to staff out and really try and make a dent in that particular industry. We have specific ideas such as requiring companies to invest in training for potential local employees. This is measurable. We can also ensure some kind of mentorship pairing with local and foreign employees. This is, again, measurable. We know these are not perfect ways of getting at the problem or getting at what's actually going on. But we shouldn't let perfection be the enemy of the good.
We do need to stay open, and we do need to welcome complementary international talent to come to Singapore. So what we need to do is not to close our doors, but to help our businesses and our workers to stay competitive. And that is what the PAP will focus on. Put workers first, ensure they remain relevant and employable, because every worker matters. And we achieve all this through our strong model of tripartism, which we have nurtured since day one. Now, the opposition have taken a different approach. Some of them have proposed a minimum wage. We believe that the government's progressive wage model is more practical and more effective in helping workers. Instead of a one-size-fits-all minimum wage, which may have unintended consequences, causing job losses. Now, our policies are pro-Singapore and pro-Singaporeans, but we must avoid a zero-sum mentality. It is not about locals versus foreigners. It is about how we can work to grow the economic pie. Over the past decade, if you look at the number of EP and S-pass holders, this increased by 38,000. But if you look at how many resident PMET jobs have been added to our economy, it was 382,000, more than 10 times larger than the number of increase in EP and S-pass holders.